Welcome to the Databricks Skill Builder series. We're glad you're here.
Databricks believes in democratizing data, getting data out to as many people as possible in as efficient a format as possible. Towards that end, we've created something called a Genie Space, and I want to walk you through that now. I'm here in my Databricks workspace, and I'm assuming for the purpose of this presentation that you're maybe a decision maker of some kind, a manager or an executive. You could, if you had a question of your data, go through the process of having someone make a report for you. This can be a bit time consuming, and you've got to send off a request and then retrieve the output. And then if you have sort of an ad hoc question, you're stuck repeating that process. Genie Spaces are designed specifically to address those kinds of ad hoc questions where all you need to do is ask the question in English and retrieve the result. Over here on the left, in the next 2 or 3 minutes, I'll walk you through that. I've got a place here, multiple things that I could click on, but what I'm interested in this demo is a Genie Space. So when I click on that, it opens a new screen for me where I can pick. Now because it's a demo environment, there are tons of these available, so I'm going to come to the one that I have set up for this demo, and I am now in a Genie Space. Essentially, it's just a place for you to begin a chat directly with your data. And as you have those chats, you can save them off here on the left. So I've got different conversations I've had with my data. And I can make new ones if there's a new topic I would like to pursue. Let's start here with some sales analysis. Up at the top, I typed in the question, how many sales do I have by quarter and year? And I can now see that broken out here. And I wanted this visualized, so I clicked a button to have it visualized, and I've got a bar chart breaking out this information. This is just sample data, so it shows that in 2004, sales were quite a bit higher than in 2003, and that's the sort of thing I might want to dig into. I then come across to say, what does that look like by geography? So for a separate conversation here, I begin asking questions there. Show me number of orders by country. Again, this produces a little visualization, a description of what's going on at the top, and should you be interested, the SQL code that was used to generate your response. The SQL code can be very helpful if you come up with a response that isn't quite correct. Sending this to a data engineer allows them to quickly troubleshoot and fix the issues behind the scenes. Here I'm going to order this so I can see who my most popular countries are, and it looks like it's the US, and then Spain, and then France in order. So if I visualize this again, I get to see that broken out. US dramatically outweighs other countries, but I'm interested in my second runner-up, Spain. So I ask the question, what product line is most popular in Spain? It recognizes these categories and has filtered down sales to only show me that product line, which in this case is classic cars. Because the chat in the background has access to previous questions, I can say how many orders were in that product line. It references the output from the prior code, which is classic cars, and lets me know that in that product line, Spain had 342 orders. Same thing with this question. How does that compare to France? I can then say it knows both that classic cars is the product line and that the country previously was Spain. So it's going to do a comparison between Spain and France and give you now the order count for France. Let's say you type in a question and the data doesn't support your question. Here's an example of that. I asked the question, how many of my deliveries were late? And the chatbot in the background here knows that there isn't a column for something like order date and delivery date, and so it's going to say, I'm sorry, I can't answer that. If you wanted to know that, we would need some extra information. This then, you can pass back to a data engineer to have your data enhanced. If you want to see the data and what it looks like as a table, I can come in here. This is my table. Each table can have a simple description assigned to it, and each column here also gets its own description, which is useful both for you to understand what you're looking at and for the LLM. Here are all of the columns inside of my data. Should I decide I want to start a new line of inquiry, I can click New Chat, and if I don't know how to get started, we can click on Give me 5 examples or Explain this table to me. All of this comes together to give you, as a decision maker, a straightforward, easy place to ask ad hoc questions directly on top of your data without going through the extended process of requesting a report be built specifically for your needs. And should your needs change in the future, you can come into any of these, rewrite a question by clicking the pencil mark, or rerun the question if your data has changed.